So, guys, VBS scandal is back, and we are still talking about the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, and the former Minister of International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor. You remember the last time we spoke about VBS, we were reacting to a statement that was made by the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, on SABC when he was having a conversation with Clement Manyathela. According to Julius Malema, Dr. Naledi Pandor is one of the people that has allegedly benefited from the collapse of the VBS, and Julius Malema went further to actually accuse Clement Manyathela and the media as a whole for not paying attention to the so-called media darlings. Julius Malema says that no, man, the South African media is not fair. They are only talking about us. They are talking about Jacob Zuma. But when it comes to these people, the media darlings, they say nothing. So let me tell you a scoop. You see this Naledi Pandor that you love so much. She's one of the people that has benefited from the collapse of the VBS. So this was a shocker to the whole country because it was the first time that Naledi Pandor was implicated in the collapse of VBS. So guys, if you missed this part where Julius Malema implicated the former Minister of International Relations, Dr. Naledi Pandor, this is what Julius Malema said.
Zuma paid back the money. Zuma also paid the VBS, if he did, a bond, which he got. Naledi Pandor was also in the VBS bond or something, which she was there. They are your darlings. You will never know their names. You know the names of those you don't like to demonstrate there's no principle. Many names, a lot of names are there. This is just used to blackmail people. When they try to speak, they say, we'll release this thing. Yeah.
So this is what the leader of the EFF, Julius Malema, said about Dr. Naledi Pandor. And I remember Dr. Naledi Pandor spoke with Clement Manyathela the next morning on Radio 702 to actually say that, no, man, Julius Malema is telling lies about me. I live in Cape Town. I bank in Cape Town. I know nothing about VBS. And I remember Dr. Naledi Pandor was actually asked, are you going to take this matter to the lawyers? Are you going to talk to your lawyers to actually force Julius Malema to apologize publicly for destroying your good name? And Dr. Naledi Pandor said that, no, man, we are going to leave this to the media, and I actually expect Julius Malema to issue out a public apology for destroying my name. So many people said that, Dr. Naledi Pandor, you might as well forget about it. There is no way that Julius Malema is going to apologize to you for actually saying these things. And I remember some people said, Thomas, you need to be careful of Julius Malema, man. This guy doesn't just say things without the evidence. If Julius Malema is going to go out there to accuse someone of something, you better know that Julius Malema has the evidence. So when it comes to Dr. Naledi Pandor, many people criticized her for actually saying that, no, I'm not going to take the matters to with my lawyers. I want Julius Malema to issue out a public apology. But it seems like this time around, Dr. Naledi Pandor is actually serious about getting that public apology from Julius Malema, because Dr. Naledi Pandor says that she has spoken with her lawyers, and her lawyers has already contacted the lawyers of Julius Malema. So she wants the public apology. So we don't know right now if Julius Malema is going to go out in public and apologize to Dr. Naledi Pandor, or Julius Malema is going to say, this is the evidence, this is why I say that Dr. Naledi Pandor is involved in the collapse of VBS.
I thought I'd end, Dr. Pandor, with how you deal with the heavy responsibilities of high office. The shots fired in your direction. One of these incidents I'm thinking of is, among others, EFF leader Julius Malema saying in that interview with the SABC that you were in the VBS mutual bond saga. You responded, challenging him to provide the evidence and then to publicly apologize. Has he done that? And are you going to take this matter further? Why would it be important to take it further and to address this?
Well, I've issued a public statement today, which fully sets out what has happened. My lawyers wrote to the lawyers of Mr. Malema, calling on Mr. Malema to publicly apologize because what he had said was a lie.
And guys, do you think that Julius Malema is going to apologize, or the lawyers of Dr. Naledi Pandor will have to literally twist his hand to actually apologize. Do you think that Julius Malema is going to apologize? And how many people do actually think that Julius Malema has the evidence for what he has said? Because right now, it sounds like Dr. Naledi Pandor is quite serious. She is serious. She has contacted her lawyers. This is something that people have been saying to her ever since Julius Malema went on national television to accuse her of accepting the money that came from VBS. This is what people were saying, that Dr. Naledi Pandor, don't tell us that you're going to leave this matter with the media, and at the same time you are expecting a public apology from Julius Malema. He is not going to do that. But right now that she's talking about involving her lawyers, now the matter is getting interesting.
Well, I've issued a public statement today which fully sets out what has happened. My lawyers wrote to the lawyers of Mr. Malema, calling on Mr. Malema to publicly apologize because what he had said was a lie. I do not have a loan. Never have I applied for a loan from VBS. I don't even know where the VBS office is. Secondly, Mr. Malema failed to act into the deadline we had set for him to publicly apologize. What my lawyers received was a response from his lawyers, a response from which I have quoted in the media statement I released this morning. He has said he meant me no harm, and while the words were harsh, I should take it that he meant no harm. He also undertakes that he'll never make such a statement again. But he doesn't say that he lied. He says it was part of political discourse. This is what his lawyers are saying. So in a sense, he's admitting that actually this was a dishonest offense to me, and it really impaired my dignity. And I wish he had had the courage to stand up publicly and say he was wrong. From the letter from his lawyers, it's clear that that is what he's saying, but he doesn't have the courage to come back to the public stage and say it himself. And I'm really quite disappointed in him, but I'm not surprised.
So I wonder, are you going to let it go? Are you going to let go and say that I'm disappointed in Julius Malema for refusing to go out in public and apologize for destroying my good name? Or are you going to tell your lawyers that no, I actually want Julius Malema to go out in public and apologize for destroying my good name? What are you going to do about it? And guys, what would you like Dr. Naledi Pandor to actually do about this matter? Because Julius Malema, of course, he admitted that, yeah, man, this is just a political discourse, man. I was on national television, I got carried away, and before I even know it, I started mentioning your name without any evidence, and now I apologize, but this is not really an apology, but you know what I'm saying, man. This is politics. Sometimes we say things that we don't mean. But Dr. Naledi Pandor, she seemed distraught about the fact that Julius Malema went on public and accused her to be one of the people that has potentially benefited from the collapse of VBS. So it's going to be interesting to see how or where this matter is going to go. Is Dr. Naledi Pandor going to let this matter go? Because I think that if she lets this matter go, people are going to say that, but Dr. Naledi Pandor, maybe there is something there. Maybe Julius Malema actually has a point, because right now people want her to actually force Julius Malema to go out in public and to apologize for destroying her good name. And I think Julius Malema, again, he knows that if he goes out in public and says that, Dr. Naledi Pandor, I apologize for destroying your good name, his credibility is out of the window. His credibility is out of the window, and the supporters of the EFF are going to say, man, what kind of a leader is this? What kind of a leader is this that is being forced to apologize for actually making statements on television, the political statements on national television? So I think that Julius Malema is between a rock and a hard place. If Dr. Naledi Pandor continues to push for him to go out in public to apologize for destroying her good name, I think, man, the man is between the rock and a hard place.
That would suggest he's acted cowardly then, Dr. Pandor.
I believe he doesn't have the courage to stand up because he throws, these allegations from time to time against public figures. And then he hides under the banner of his lawyers, and this is exactly what he's done with me. I had said he must produce the evidence and really explain to the South African public how did I, living in Cape Town, miss every bank in Cape Town and go to some place in Limpopo to apply for a loan. It's a bizarre allegation, and he knows it. His lawyer's letter knows it, states it very clearly.
Dr. Pandor, thank you very much.
So Dr. Naledi Pandor is saying Julius Malema is a coward. Well, she's saying that Julius Malema is a coward. But I think this is one of the most interesting stories. Man, I think this story is going to be very interesting. I think it's going to be very interesting. I wonder what Julius Malema is going to do. Guys, please tell me what you think in the comment section. Don't forget to hit that like button, and the most important part, subscribe. My name is Thomas Mabaso. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.